tuning and model training architecture to do that. And I think over time, we've built a lot of things. And probably the most important kind of key finding that we've found when it comes to like the artificial intelligence space is the real need to kind of make this technology accessible. So we began hosting events and AI about a year ago, and since then we've kind of grown a community to like thousands of people around the world that will kind of come to our artificial intelligence events in New York. And what we kind of realized the big thing is right now in the world, there's this kind of juxtaposition between the experts learning a lot about AI versus like kind of making the technology super in a place that can actually be used within government, within research, within development. And so essentially, we want to basically build this unified AI for resilient manufacturing institute to connect like the really great researchers with enterprises and government to kind of get the best ideas out there for like everyone to access. Um, Essentially, the way we kind of see this is like a little bit different than what some of the other teams are proposing, is we think that this should basically be like a very unified approach. Um, Essentially, we basically see ourselves as like almost like the consultants where because we're just interested in AI and like that's kind of the way we've marketed our business. We kind of see ourselves as like a neutral party that essentially can like go around and like learn from all of you guys about some of the AI research you're doing, some of the applications of that. And from there, that's kind of our main intention to kind of spend the next 2 weeks scheduling time individually with each of you guys and kind of keeping track of information, which we'll kind of use to formulate a concept paper. That way, like all of us, can benefit from such an institute. It'll essentially be like a really collaborative group thing rather than like a monopolistic thing where like one entity or group kind of decides where all the funding will go. And that way, we can kind of hear like where the areas that you're interested in and present those as like a unified way of kind of solving this problem. So I think the first step there, right, is essentially identifying these focus areas. We sent all of you guys a Google form where essentially through our conversations in our Google form, we'll kind of basically be bucketing a lot of the kind of capabilities and research you're doing into like these focus areas. And then for kind of each kind of focus area that we're interested in, maybe it's robotics or automotive or supply chain, we'll kind of have like kind of key research areas. And then within each research area, we'll have essentially funding that will kind of go to each area. Um, I'd say this is kind of really important because the way we'll actually implement this institute is critical, not just for like economic competitiveness, but also for, ensuring that we have national security, ensuring that the best research kind of goes to like the best organizations. And then over time, it's important to kind of make sure that within the USA and the world, we'll actually have the most innovative research kind of being in the hands of like really people who need it. Um, Essentially, we've done a lot of thinking of like where does it sit. We kind of see this kind of organization as like a bridge between research, government, and enterprise. And we're kind of really excited for like the opportunity to collaborate with all of you guys. And essentially, like as we grow, we kind of see this basically being like an organization that will have a lot of expertise of people in the space that know a lot of research and know a lot about artificial intelligence. So as we scale, if we're kind of able to make enough traction, this can essentially be like the hub for when people are interested in AI manufacturing. This will be like the bridge between all the research and where essentially the enterprises and government would want to go. Um, so yeah, a bit about our company, we've kind of hosted a bunch of events on artificial intelligence. We have like platforms and products like the data labeler, fine tuning, a private chatbot. But essentially, we see that essentially as like the prerequisites to kind of just like say that we're like interested in artificial intelligence. And I'd say like where we essentially want to go is building like an institute that would kind of make this technology super accessible. And we really want to learn from all of you guys. Our goal isn't essentially to be like the leader of this institute, but essentially to partner with a bunch of people to co-lead an institute and actually build a community around helping AI be accessible and used in like the domains of manufacturing to make the country better. Um, and yeah, that's essentially about us. I'd say the key kind of things is as far as resources, there's like a few things that you guys should know about before we'll just kind of hop to breakout rooms. The first is we basically on our website, um, we kind of have open sourced a lot of our materials about our company out here. So this kind of has a lot about our products, our solutions, our resources, our documentation, and our event section has like the way we've kind of been hosting like these AI meetups around the world and in New York. I invited you guys all to our Slack channel. This is essentially for our team if we're kind of like where we kind of propose communications. So we created a channel, with some of the information today. And if you didn't receive a link, let me know and I can invite you for like conversations and calls. And then essentially we have a Google Drive as well, where we'll be kind of sharing information about the concept paper. And then I'd say like the fourth thing is we have a Calendly for like one-on-one time, as we kind of really like to kind of learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing and how we can kind of include that in the proposal. And I'll just put this in here in case anyone wants to book one-on-one time. And essentially the goal of this is to kind of provide like an amalgamation of all the research out there and all the institutes and see if we can collaborate. And thank you guys so much for your time and joining. I'll keep it short just because I feel like everyone wants to meet others on the team. And thank you.